Oh my gosh, is this fragrance polarizing. When it came out, it seemed like no two opinions were alike on this. Some people loved it, some people hated it, but I'm here to give you my opinion on Apex by Roja Parfums. Let's talk about it. So Apex is a fruity chypre fragrance that was released just this year in 2022 by the company Roja Dove. The perfumer for this fragrance, as with all fragrances from Roja Parfums, is the man himself, Roja Dove. I'm gonna get into the note list here. Buckle in, because this note list is like almost longer than Lord of the Rings. It's unbelievable. So in the top, we have orange, mandarin orange, bergamot, lemon, pineapple, jasmine, cistus incanus, leather, balsam fir, patchouli, cypress, tobacco, rum, ambergris, galbanum, elemi resin, amber, oak moss, juniper berries, cashmere wood, sandalwood, labdanum, musk, benzoin, and olibanum. This is my first take doing the note list, and I really hope that I don't fumble my words, because then that means I have to read that note list over again, and I really don't want to do that. It's insane how many notes are in this fragrance, but it honestly adds to the complexity of it. There's certain notes that stick out to me, and there's certain notes that I really love this fragrance for, and we'll get into that in just a little bit. When it comes to the price point for Apex, you can expect to spend around $290. I've seen some differing prices on this for some reason. I can't really tell you why. I can just tell you what I paid for it. I purchased it from the Roja Dove Hot Perfumery website, and I paid $290 for this. I also got a 7.5 mil atomizer of Lakme or Lamke. I'm just butchering that pronunciation, but it's a really beautiful fragrance, actually. It leans feminine, but I got that with it. I also got a sample set of the Bespoke Collection. It's a collection of fragrances that Roja Dove does. You can only buy it at their boutique in Harrods, I believe. If I'm getting that information wrong, please correct me down in the comments, but I think that's the case. Anyway, paid $290, got an additional atomizer and a sample set, which is great. As is the case with most Roja fragrances, you're not gonna be able to find this discounted, especially not yet. It just got released. And Roja is pretty exclusive, so I feel like they do a very good job of keeping their fragrances off of the gray market, off of discounters. So yeah, $290 is pretty much the price you're gonna pay for this. For seasons and occasions, this is actually a very versatile scent for me, and for my use for it, I would use it mainly in the springtime and the fall time, just because I have a larger collection. So this scent profile kind of lends itself to those in-between months where it's not too hot, not too cold, because there's some fresh elements to this, but there's also some darker, richer elements to it as well. If you're somebody who's looking for a signature scent and you really like this fragrance, you can definitely wear this all year round. I don't know that I would personally wear it in the high summer heat, but I think it is fresh enough to be able to pull it off if you choose to. For occasions, again, this is pretty versatile. I wear this a lot if I'm going out on a date night with my wife, or if I'm going to a bar with friends. You can dress this up, you can dress this down. I guess if I was to give you one use for this and be pretty specific with it, I would wear it kind of when you're dressing nice, maybe business casual, you have a collared shirt on. This is really good for work. It has a kind of a professional edge to it, a classy, refined, mature kind of a feel. So definitely, dressing it up would work really well. Normally, I would show you guys the packaging, but I actually made an unboxing video for this fragrance. Some of you may have seen this. It's a really great packaging. I'm not gonna show it to you here, but I will leave a link in the description and also a card up here as well so you can see it. But I'll show you, look at the bottle here. At least from this angle, the bottle looks black. And I mentioned this in the unboxing. The bottle really does look black in person. A lot of the marketing shows that gradient from black to green, but you don't really see it in person unless it hits the light just right. This bottle is super cool looking. It's just, I love this matte black cap. It's just really sleek. A lot of people hated on this packaging, and specifically this font right here because it reminded them of Axe, I guess. I guess I can see where they're coming from with that, but I just already have so many associations with Roja and the brand that Axe did not cross my mind because I know it's going to be nothing near a can of Axe. But anyway, I think it's a cool design. I think it's unique. I think it's something new for the brand. So all in all, I think it's a cool bottle. Okay, let's talk about the fragrance itself. So you're going to spray this on. You're going to be briefly greeted by the citruses. So you get the orange, you get the mandarin orange, bergamot, lemon. It's kind of a bouquet of citruses up top, but they last, you blink and you miss it. In terms of its kind of sharp freshness, I still think you can pick up some of the freshness, but it's not as zingy a few seconds after you spray it on. You get a really big blast and then it starts to settle down into some of the darker, richer notes. I do get pineapple in this, but this is not Aventus. A lot of people were like, oh, this is just gonna be an Aventus style fragrance. It's got pineapple in the notes. So, you know, we can know what to expect. This has no relation to Aventus whatsoever. I get, yes, it's a fruity chypre. Yes, it has pineapple. Those are two things in common with Aventus. Outside of that, zero commonalities. So it settles really nicely into some of the leather and the balsam fir. It has this really nice deep green, leathery quality to it, pretty balsamic. I get the cypress for sure. I get a touch of sweetness in here. I'm not sure exactly what to attribute that to. Potentially the rum that's in there. And honestly, the note list is so long I cannot remember it in my head. I have it back here. So you're probably getting some sweetness from the benzoin. So the resin, some of the ambery qualities, you're getting the sweetness from that. And that really kind of encompasses the fragrance. You get all of these notes, but they're really blended well together. So not one is louder than the other. It's just, they come together in a really nice harmony to create a pretty unique scent profile. I don't think this is groundbreaking. I don't think this is anything completely new. I just think it is a kind of a classic fragrance that resembles some of the 80s, 90s powerhouse style fragrances, but gives it a modern edge to it. To be honest, I saw some reviews before I smelled this and I was fully expecting it to be too mature for my taste, but it's actually not at all. I sprayed it on and my wife is pretty sensitive to mature smelling fragrances and she didn't find this to be overly mature at all. She thought it had a good modern edge to it. So don't let some of those reviews scare you away saying, oh, it smells like this, it smells like that. There's so many differing opinions on this that you really have to get your nose on it for yourself to determine what you think about it. And for me, I'm really enjoying Apex. I think it's an awesome fragrance. It's unlike anything that I have in my collection. I'm not saying it's unlike anything on the market, but it is unlike anything in my collection. If I was to compare it to something, I think it has a touch of Dior Sauvage Elixir. I've seen some people say that, so it could be power of suggestion, but I do think that it does resemble it slightly in the mid and the dry down, but not enough to, you know, say this is a clone of Sauvage Elixir. It definitely does its own thing. It definitely has its own edge to it. So if you're into green, balsamic, leathery fragrances, they're deep and rich, but has a fresh edge to it. This almost also has a metallic edge to it as well, just slightly. It's very pleasant. Highly recommend that you check out Apex. Also briefly want to talk about compliments on Apex. This was a bit of a surprise to me. I've worn this probably 10 times now in preparation for the review, and I have received a compliment 3 out of the 10 times that I've worn this, which I would say is in line with some of my most complimented fragrances, honestly. If you have the attitude for this, if you're dressed well for it, this will work well for you. It's working well for me. I went out, I got a compliment. Somebody said, oh, what are you wearing? I said, I'm wearing the new Roja fragrance called Apex. And my friend knows that I'm into fragrance. He's heard of Roja Parfums. And he's like, oh my gosh, that is not what I was expecting when you told me that it was on its way. I don't know why. I just wasn't expecting that. It smells really good and spicy, and just gave me some good feedback on that. The person that he was with, she was like, yeah, that smells really nice. And my wife gave a really cool, unexpected compliment. She says for some reason that this smells like home to her. Like it's very comforting, it's very inviting and warming, which I thought was a really cool comment to say about a fragrance. I always love when fragrance evokes those kind of memories and those kind of feelings. So all in all, really enjoying Apex, and I would highly recommend that you guys get your nose on it, get a sample, wear it on skin. The more I've worn this, the more I've loved it. So highly recommend it to you guys. So that is all from me, guys, on Apex by Roja Parfums. I want to hear from you now. I want to know, have you tried this fragrance? Do you love it? Do you hate it? I know there's a million differing opinions out there, but I want to hear from you guys. Let's get a conversation started down in the comment section, and I will see you guys soon.